was looking for it. It was running around its wheel. Good evening, Clark. Welcome to the tasting bothy.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
Yes, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been in the bothy having a dram together, so
That's right.
it'll be nice to have it. That's because you were celebrating your birthday and you were away.
We were away. Yes, we were in San Andreas.
Yes, indeed. So now I can say that you're the same age as me.
And I wondered how long it would take you to get rid of that. Not long at all.
I've been waiting a week. Because we couldn't do it last week. So was this dram that we're doing tonight? This Grangestone Bourbon Cask. Was this a Christmas dram or was this a birthday dram?
I got this for my Christmas.
You got this one for your Christmas?
From me ma.
All right, your mom got it for you.
My mother, yeah, exactly. She's getting awfully clever. See, the older she gets, the cleverer she's getting. That's what I can say.
Aye. Well, I can only wish that she was my morty. So anyway.
She seems like her boy. What are you talking about?
Yes, aye. She's a lovely, lovely woman.
Oh, we changed subject.
We're doing this Grangestone. Sorry,
aye.
Clark.
Grangestone.
The Grangestone, yes. Yep. So a Highland malt.
It's a Highland malt. You want to see it? Just like that.
That's it. That's the one. That's the picture you sent me. I'll read it earlier on.
Yep.
So it's been double matured.
Matured.
Been matured in a
white oak
barrel.
White oak cask, and then finished off in a American bourbon.
And it's an on-age statement, so we don't know how long it was in either of them. Well, it had to be in the first one for 3 years and a day.
Well, that's right.
Because if it had been in the first one for 3 years and a day, we'll not be having this as a single malt whiskey. So
no, that's a fair point to me.
But it could have been dicht into a bourbon cask and out again in 24 hours, for all we know, for finishing. But I wouldn't think it would be that. This is I did a wee bit of research. William Grangestone.
Is that right?
It is.
Right.
So it's from the Balvenie and Glenfiddich stable, because that Glen Grant. So so for their space size. So this is obviously a wee bit further up. It's part of that.
It's the Highland malt. That's right.
Aye. So. But no, I did I wanted to do some research on just a wee bit so that when we're chatting about it tonight, we could do that. So it's bottled by, you can write that in, by William Grangestone. You can add that in your wee notes later on. And it comes out of that kind of same stable as obviously Glenfiddich and Balvenie, Monkey Shoulder. They all come from that. They all come from that same stable kind of thing. So just a wee bit background on it. But this one here's a bourbon cask. 40% proof it is, isn't it? It's 40% ABV.
It is 40, aye.
And it's a lovely golden colour, Clark.
It's a nice colour, that's right.
It really is.
Aye.
It really is. It's very, very light looking in the glass, though, when you see it. So I do think it's quite young, Clark.
I think you could be right. It's certainly running away there anyway when you put it around your glass.
It's I think it might be quite young. Let's get it on the nose. Oh, it's quite citrusy on the nose.
It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Quite appley as well. I think it's quite appley.
It is. It's quite green appley. And you can also pick up the fact that it's been finished in that bourbon cask.
Yes, that's right.
It's got that kind of sweet vanilla note at the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice wee oakiness to it, a wee woodiness to it. So.
Oh yes, yes, I see what you're saying.
I wouldn't like to hazard a guess. I think it's as old as a 10. It might be, but
I think if it was as old as a 10, they'd have put 10 years old on the bottle.
Well, aye. Probably. Well, it depends on what the youngest one is. It could have been 10, but you know
Well,
that.
that's certainly good with the youngest one. Aye, good point.
The nose is nice. It's very nice, very fresh, very light.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the amount of citrus in it, though. It really is very, very citrusy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I quite like the nose of that, Clark. Right, let's have a wee taste of it.
There we go then.
Just grabbing my pen to take some notes here. Good evening, Anthony. Welcome to the Tasting Bothy. It's nice to have you back on from Welsh, Wales. So we're just chatting there just before you came on there, Anthony. We'll give you a wee bit of update on where we were. So we're on the Grangestone bourbon cask. It's a double matured bourbon cask. So it was matured in an American oak cask and then finished in a bourbon cask. It's a non-age statement and it's 40%. That's where we're up to, pal. We were just looking at it. We were just talking about the age of it there just now. So obviously it's a non-age statement. We don't know how well. Obviously it's got to be in the first cask for 3 years and a day, and then it's obviously finished in the bourbon cask. But there's nothing tells us how long it was in either of these. So, but we were just saying on the nose here, it's very, very citrusy, very sweet. There's that vanilla because it's come from that bourbon and American oak cask, and on the palate, I find the finish itself. It's quite short, Clark.
Yeah,
but on the palate, it's quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's quite light on the palate.
It is.
Yeah, so that's quite light. It's got that wee bit of vanilla creaminess to the end, that kind of right bit.
Yeah.
So
I find it a wee bit kind of fruity, but kind of appley, peary, kind of fruity.
It's got that kind of pear drop appleiness to it. It's very light. The
Very
nose
light.
is packs quite a punch, quite citrusy on that. So I quite like that. I like that. I'm going to score that there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a remarkable dram, Clark. It's a nice, easy drinking dram.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice, easy drinking dram.
Yeah.
I do like the nose, though. I like that citrus bit that we've got in the nose. That's really nice.
I think the nose is the best part, and then the palate is quite nice, and then it kind of loses it a wee bit on the finish.
It loses it all in the finish, and kind of overall. I've not scored that high. I feel like I'm maybe giving it a right kicking, but I didn't mean to give it that, because it's one of those ones where I've scored it, and I know when I've scored it that I'm saying it doesn't make it sound like it's a good dram, but it actually is. It's quite a nice dram. If you were going to buy something to introduce anybody to a bourbon cask single malt whiskey, this would be a nice one for them. It's light, it's smooth. There's no afterburn in it.
No,
it's unoffensive completely. It's just a nice dram, Clark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've actually just scored it that high either. I've probably been a wee bit harsh on it as well. It's.
Well, it doesn't say anything on the bottle at all, Anthony. Obviously, it's got to be in the cask for 3 years and a day for it to be a single malt whiskey. But it doesn't say if it's come straight out of there and into a bourbon cask at that. I would suggest by the colour that we've got in it that it's been in the cask a wee bit longer than 3 years and a day to get the colour that it's got. So I was hazarding a guess at maybe between 5 and 8 years on it. That's just me hazarding a guess, just at the sheer colour of the dram.
I would say so.
and then finished off. It could have been in that bourbon cask. It's obviously been there long enough to pull out some of the vanilla from the bourbon and the likes that's there. So again, could have been in the bourbon cask for 6 months to a year maybe. So, but it's lovely. It's got a really nice nose to it. I like that. I'm saying I like it, but I know I've scored it. I'm thinking to myself, Clark's going to go, oh no, it's not as low as that.
The thing is, it's not remarkable. We've had some.
I'm going to let you go first tonight. I'm going to let you score it first. I don't know why to stick my head above the parapet too early.
We've had some absolute crackers, right? This doesn't put most of the absolute crackers. I suspect if you get one of these, a Grangestone that's a bit older, then it might be all right. You know, I think that's maybe just a wee bit.
I think that's 100% correct, Clark. I think the fact that it's quite young. I think if you were getting an 18 or a 25-year-old, it's a dime to mature and to pull all that out of the wood, sit in another cask and draw whatever it is, whether it's going to. Because I know they do various ones. They do them in sherry casks. They do them in the bourbon cask like this. Everything seems to be kind of double maturation. Anthony's saying you can buy it in Asda for about 25 quid. So, so for a bottle of whiskey at that price, this is a lovely bottle of whiskey to buy at that.
It's a fine drink for that kind of money. Right, I'm a wee bit embarrassed here because this is my bottle, but I've scored a 77, which I think is quite low. But it's probably too low, actually. I maybe been a bit miserable.
I've scored it. Unusually, I have scored it exactly the same as you. I've given it a 77.
Aye. I mean, that's just a bit more than 7.5 out of 10. That's
Aye, well, that's what I'm saying. It's not a bad dram.
Not by any man that means a bad dram.
No, but we've had some really good drams recently, and as we're going through and tasting all these drams, the scores are getting more and more difficult because I can't compare that along with the Ardnaho that you gave me 2 weeks ago.
Which was just absolute cracker.
Ardnaho was fantastic. And tonight we've got a wee bonus dram.
We have.
We've got a wee bonus dram that we're going to do. So I didn't mention this today when we were on the thing, but let me just ping this one up because we've got a wee bonus dram that we've added in for tonight. So I'm just going to rinse my palate out.
Well, unusually I've brought some water with me tonight.
I don't think we're going to need it to add to anything. I'm not going to add it. I'm certainly not going to. Well, I could add it to the Tamdhu because if I'm doing a whiskey tasting at the distillery and I'm doing an 18-year-old Tamdhu, I would always say to those who are on the tour, just add a wee drop or two of water to that because it really does release it. You know, it does. It just causes that surface tension to break, and it does bring that whole, flavour that you're looking for on the palate, and it adds a wee bit of spice to it. But I'm not sure I'm going to do that tonight. So you chose this one as well. You asked us if we could do the Tamdhu 18.
Yes.
So I said, yep, this is the bottle of this. So we'll give you a wee dram up there to do the Tamdhu 18. And again, it's a lovely dram.
Nice colour.
It is a lovely dram. The nose on that is fantastic. So, Tamdhu 18, they combine 2 casks as well here. American oak Oloroso. So this is an American oak sherry-filled Oloroso cask, but they also use the European oak Oloroso cask as well. So Oloroso casks, but they combine the American oak and the European oak on this occasion. I think this really brings out the signature fruity spirit that the 18-year-old is really renowned for. I think it's fantastic. And this is a full-term sherry maturation as opposed to what we had in our last one that we tried earlier on. The last one we had was again double maturation, but it was in 2 different types. So a white American oak and then a bourbon cask. This is 2 sherry casks, American sherry and European oak sherry cask. So it's just everything's been full term. So that whole 18 years, has been in there, and that's what gives it that fantastic hue that it's got in it. I think it's a lovely colour.
Colour, right?
These are deep natural colours, and kind of that really reflects the quality of the oak that Tam do use up there. Sandy does a great job up in Speyside. On the nose, it's just absolutely phenomenal.
It's all these rich fruits that I love.
I know, it's like you get that ripe cherry and plum, and also that wee zesty citrus. And you can tell that I work for me. I get passionate about this when I start talking about this dram. It's got that right zesty. It's even for me, I get that kind of milk chocolatiness for it, Clark, on the nose. I ken you can't have milk chocolate. That's no good for you, but there's no milk chocolate in this. But it's got that butteriness. There's a kind of buttery. There's that you get that. There's also a bit of honey in there, so you get the cherries and the plums and the honey and all that stuff comes for it. On the nose, it's for me, it's a belter. I do. I do like this. You know, for it being just 46% proof, for it being just 46% proof, compared to some of the cask strength Olorosos we've had recently, I think this is up there. You ready for a wee taste of this?
Sure am. Cheers.
That sweet spiciness is just
beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful.
You get that wee bit of vanilla hits you. The dried fruits fill your mouth with that. And you get a wee bit of red apple that comes through there on this one. It's just, I like that. That's I'm preaching to the converted here, though. For me, anyway. I'm sharing this thing, but I think it's a great dram. I think the finish as well, you get that long, lingering kind of. It's like, what am I thinking? What's it here? It's like stewed apples. It's got like stewed apples with cinnamon over the top of it. You know, you get that kind of. I love that. And then you've got that wee hint of sherry that sits.
A spice on the front of your tongue as well.
Aye, a bit on the top of the gum and the lip and everything. I like this.
That's all the time.
Oh, that's good, Clark. I like that, and I'm as I said, I think it's very unfair for me to be judging this and talking about it because it is a great dram, and as I say, I've got to do this every other weekend if I'm doing a distillery tour, and we're on the Rekindle tour, and this is one of the drams that they get to try. So it's great. I mean, it's a lovely deep copper colour in it. It's got everything that I like: the rum and the raisins and the dried, that citrusy nose. Just the thing that surprises me is how citrusy it actually is. As part you get all that other stuff that's coming through, all that rich fruit and berries and everything, and then there's this zinginess that hits you.
Yep, it's lovely. Really lovely.
I love that.
There's quite a marked difference in this to the Grangestone that we've just tried.
I don't have an answer for that.
Alexa's decided to speak to me for some reason. I never asked her a question.
It's just even a taste it either. How can she compare it?
I've asked her what her thoughts were on the Tam do.
Aye.
But we'll not go there.
But she doesn't have any thoughts.
Somebody's mentioning here about the Jameson triple triple. Did we not do the Jameson triple triple before? Did you never bought a bottle of Jameson triple triple?
Did you not have a bottle of it?
Was it me that had it? One of us had it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we did it. Maybe a year or so back.
Makes it pretty who it was.
I'm sure we did. I'm sure I got a bottle of triple triple before, which was nice. We actually scored it quite high, if I remember rightly. It was well up into the 80s.
It was probably high.
He's also talking about the one of his things is the Old Perth. We did the Old Perth. We did that back in, I think we did that back in about September, October time. Loved the Old Perth. So if you're looking for a review of that one, Anthony, go back into your YouTube channel and you'll find the Old Perth in there. We really enjoyed that.
Nice,
I can't really score this. I think it's completely unfair for me to score this because I think I'm biased.
Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with having a bias against it? I think everybody's got a bias when it comes to whiskey. Everybody's got something they like. I like this. This ticks all the boxes for me. Yeah, this is the kind of dram that I like. As well, you know.
I'll be looking for 100%. Yes, I know you love a sherry cask. I know that. And it's great because, I mean, as I said, and the other bottle that I bought the other day there, the 12-year-old Glengoyne that we're going to do a tasting of, you'll like that as well. I know you'll like that.
Right. Well, that sounds good. We'll need to do that one soon.
Yeah. So I've got, as I said, I've still got a few wee bottles here. I keep buying them every so often. We just need to keep replenishing what we're doing because if not, we're going to run out of stuff.
Right at time soon. I've got 8 wee bottles sitting over there from you, still to taste.
You've got 8, and I've got 4 here for you. So that means there's 12. There's 12 bottles altogether for us to do.
Well, that's fine. That'll keep us going for a wee while.
Yeah, and we'll keep adding as we go. So, right then, come on, I'm going to let you score it. Tell me what you've given this.
Well, I've given this a 92 because I think it's a broad ram. You've got to go higher than that, are you?
No, I've scored it a 92.
There you go. If you're singing off the same hymn sheet tonight. Brilliant. There you go.
I swithered when I was putting it down whether I was going to give it a 24 or not on the nose, but I had to. In fact, I was supposed to get it a 25 in the nose because it's just how it is. It's what I like a sherry cask. I mean, I feel like a peated dram. I like smoke. The one you astounded me with the other week there, that the dram that we did, the what was it, Lagavulin? Was it Lagavulin?
The Lafroig.
No, the Lafroig. The Lafroig. Because I didn't normally like it because it's too kind of medicinal in the way that it is, and too peaty sometimes. Whereas that was just right. It had just been done right. So I really enjoyed that. It was this Oak Select. I mean, it had been in about 40 different casks, right enough. Honestly, I've ran out of my notepad to write in how many casks it had actually been in and what it had actually done. But yeah, this is good.
It is good, eh? 80 is that's a broad ram.
It's more and more toffee and caramel. The more it's been sitting in the glass, the more I'm nosing it now, the more toffee that's coming out of this. It's just toffee.
Yes, I see exactly what you're saying. As it's beginning to warm up.
Well.
Yeah, well, that's been a fine evening.
It's been a fine evening, yes, absolutely spot on. Round about that 30-minute mark, which has been great. So for viewing part of it, it makes it easy for folk to watch and catch up on. But we added a wee extra one in there, although it says this is the Grangestone Bourbon Cask. For those who follow us on YouTube, they'll get a nice wee surprise because in there's the Tamdhu 18-year-old. So that is just a lovely dram. But we'll love you and leave you, folks. That's us come up to our time. It's been great being in the Tasting Bothy again. Anthony, we thank you again for joining us and interjecting and sharing a few wee things with us about what you like and what you've had. And I love the bit that you always come on and you seem to give us a price. So you can get this Jameson's triple at £24.
And you really?
Well, that's another, you know, that's value for money, because we liked the triple when we did it. We've certainly liked this Grangestone, but the winner of the night was a Tamdhu. Know that we're comparing them against each other, but we'll wish you all the best, Anthony. Be safe, drink responsibly, and we'll catch you all again when we're back in the Tasting Bothy. Good night, folks.
Good night.